Ulster Derby Friday night, but things are going along swimmingly at the moment.
One thing I've learned, you live from week to week and you don't get carried away, and it's been good. It was, as I said last week, I knew Sligo would be difficult with a new manager coming in to give them a lift, and they defended very well, and it took us a while to break them down, but we're delighted to get away with the 3 points, and we deserved it. But you come this week and you're playing Limerick, all of a sudden everyone said we're relegated. They're after getting 2 wins in a row, after turning their season around, and they've given themselves real optimism to see can they get off the bottom of the table. So it's changed the picture. We're in form and they're coming down to us in form, so we expect that they'll defend deeply, be very compact and try and hit us on the counter attack, and we have to be patient and play with the attitude and the intensity that we've done the last number of weeks.
Like, they've doubled their points total, but it kind of confirms what you've been saying to us week in, week out. Anybody can beat anybody else in this Premier Division.
Well, I think the beauty on our league is that you never have an easy game. I suppose sometimes people may say, you score a couple of goals early on and you win, that's fine. But if you look at Limerick, even without the last 2 wins, with all their draws, they'd drawn with Rovers, they'd drawn with Dundalk, so they'd proven a difficult side, an awkward side. As I keep saying, sometimes it's easier for teams in the lower half of the table to raise their game to the bigger boys, because the bigger boys are expected to win, and there might be a sense of complacency, and those things can happen. But it just shows, Limerick 2 very good wins, and I think if you look at even last weekend, the fact they were 3-2 down and down to 10 men, it was an incredible win for them to come back to 4-3 and show the resolve and probably determination of their team, and you can sense that they feel now that they can avoid relegation. So it's going to be a difficult game for us, but at the same time, look, we're in good form. We've been taking it one game at a time. The focus of the lads has been fantastic, and they know we just have to keep that going and drive on. It's we're in the final run in the final third of the season, and we have to just keep our heads and keep putting top performances in every week.
Another clean sheet last Saturday night. I think that's 13 in the league now.
Yes.
Must be a huge source of satisfaction.
It is, because to be fair, I think we've 13. I think we had 16 last season or 17 last season, the whole of the season, so we have 13. So look, it's very important. You have to keep clean sheets. Defensively we've been strong, but at the same time, we have 5 more points than we had at this time last year, and we've got a few more goals, and I think overall our play has been good, and we've sort of developed into a very strong passing side, and we're creating a lot more chances, so that's good.
Injuries, what's the update?
Injury situation, Kevin O'Connor we're unsure about. We thought at the weekend he was going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. He's in for referral this afternoon, and we're hearing that it's not as bad as first feared, so we'll have a better idea later today, but maybe out for Friday night, may miss the weekend, but doesn't look like long term. Obviously Gavin is long term. John Kavanagh is back in training. Unsure if he'll be available for Friday night, but he's very close. Certainly probably be available in the squad for Monday. Darren is close. Like training at the moment, due to train Thursday. Again, Friday is probably too soon. Monday is probably, more in the picture. And that's it really. We're not too bad otherwise.
Yeah, Billy's second week back training. Does he come into the plans, or is he a few weeks to go yet?
No, yeah.
John, the game Friday is clashing with Aston Villa, Manchester United on TV. Next year there's 10 games scheduled for Friday nights. Is it a concern for you and your crowd on Friday, and is it of a bigger concern for the league as a whole looking to next year, do you think?
Yeah, good point. I suppose there's been a lot of talk about it. If I look at Friday night, I really don't think so, because I think our own supporters know now we're in the run-in for the league, and I think you look at the bank holiday weekend with 3,500 against Bows, and there was a lot of other attractions. So I think that Friday night, I think our own supporters know the run-in is on. We need to be in the ground, and while the game is on TV, I still feel that we still have a big crowd Friday night. Going forward, you'd have to say there are probably going to be certain games that may affect your crowd, and you're going to probably have to look at that. But you know, the one thing we probably have is that we have a very strong support, and we have a lot of kids-based supporters, and I suppose the other side to that as well is that, you know, with the games, whether it's Southampton, Sky, a lot of people don't have those channels anymore, and you know, and I suppose a lot of people don't bring their kids to the pubs to watch them, so I just still expect that Friday night we'd still have a very big crowd, and you know, I'm hoping we will.
John, there's a 4-point gap there, and a lot of the Corks, well, Cork and Dundalk obviously, but St. Pat's have crept into the picture as well.
St. Pat's are right in there.
Yeah.
Rovers are right in there. It's as I said, this is going to go the whole way, and you know, I said from a long way back, you know, if a team can consistently keep winning, you put yourself in there, and I think Pats have, is it 8 in a row they've won, you know, and all of a sudden they have a big weekend ahead of them. They also played Dundalk, so by Monday night, you know, the whole league will be blown wide open, you know, and I would say at the moment there's still 4 teams in there, and even though people have, you know, not mentioning Rovers, they're still ahead of Pats, and everyone has to play each other, so it's, you know, and so I just feel that you can't rule anyone out, because if anyone strings 6 or 7 wins together, you know, the chances you're going to win the league. And if you go back in last year, you know, we I think we put 7 wins in a row and put us top of the table in the last game of the season. So it just shows you that the big thing is the 3 points as opposed to 1 point. That's if you can keep winning rather than drawing, you put yourself in serious position then.
Even your own current run, John, since the one defeat of the season to Dundalk, 9 wins and 3 draws in the past 12. It's phenomenal, really.
Yeah, I suppose it is. It's, you know, it's we, you know, I don't really look at it that way. I look at it sort of, you know, week to week and keep it that way. But I suppose looking back on reflection, yeah, it's a very good run. But I keep saying it's you know, if you can keep guys training hard, focused, working, you know, keeping them with the right attitude, you know, you have a chance. And I think the one thing that you can see with this team, and even from last year, you know, there's a real resolve and a real, you know, good attitude and will to win. And you know, even though we got setbacks last year, we bounced back. This year we had a few setbacks, we bounced back, and I think that's a good character of the team. And you know, so I think the lads have done really well.
Last week you were in the stand for the Sligo Rovers match, and this week you're back in dugout. Did you find it much different watching from the stand with regards to analysis of your team?
Oh, I enjoyed the chat with all the Sligo Rovers supporters. I met many of them. It was very entertaining. So no, it's as I said, a lot of the work we do is done during the week. Our team meetings on the day of the match. Okay, maybe at half time you might make a few switches, but the lads that were on the bench, they were well capable of doing that. And do you see things differently? I suppose we analyse and watch the videos back after the games ourselves, so we analyse things quite a bit. I think as a manager, you know, it's difficult to watch a game in the stand, mainly because there's so many other people around you and they're complimenting you. So it's probably safer to be done by the dugout.
John, just in regard to Mark O'Sullivan's form, I know earlier in the season he had a bit of a kind of quiet spell from the goal, but he's coming good and finding the back of the net just at the right time of the season.
Yeah, and I think the thing for Mark is that you know, when you look at him last year, where he came from, you know, a lot of people might have said he was a one-season wonder. Certainly people in other places said he was a one-season wonder. I never felt that, because you know, he has an honesty about him, that his work rateness and his sheer tenacity has always been there. So I felt that this year he would do as well again as he did last year. Obviously he didn't get a lot of goals in the early part of the season, but to be fair, the team were still winning, and he created lots of goals, and he was a nuisance. And I would say that his presence probably took away the attention from some of our other players, and that's why some of the other players scored. But it's great for him to be banging form, and you know, he's been fantastic, and let's just hope that he can keep going, because he's on a good run at the moment, and when you're on a run like that, you expect to score every week. So let's hope he can keep it going. And
even like Liam Miller as well, you brought him in for kind of the sort of performances he played in the last 2 games. Like, Joe, he was brilliant against Bohs, and he was fantastic again against Sligo last weekend.
Yeah, and also against Longford, and also against Derry, and they've been good early in the season. You see, it's as I said from early on, I felt, you know, it does take players time to settle. Different environment, different structures. Some players are similar. You have to work around how you can accommodate them. You have to decide whether you want to play them or you're not going to play them. And but I think all of a sudden, you know, in the last couple of months, we've got more of a balance to the team, and it suited Liam. So, but like I'll have to say, from the first day he came in, you could see he had tremendous football ability, but it was just that, you know, he, I suppose, as well as that, other opposition teams gave him special attention as well. So, you know, it was something probably he wasn't used to. So, but yeah, he's done great. But you know, throughout the whole squad, you know, the lads are really working really hard, and they're all doing great. So that's why we're doing well at the moment.
There's a view out there, John, that Dundalk are suffering a bit of a European hangover, and that City have bounced back very well, and the results would prove that since they came back. I think I asked you this before. I think you learned a bit from Europe, really, didn't you?
Well, I suppose what you learn in Europe is that, you know, or in anything, if you don't retain the ball and keep the ball, you're going to tire yourself, and you're not going to, you know, be dominant in matches and create chances. And you know, whether they're, you know, people are saying about them, I just think, to be honest, yeah, I think you have some really good teams out there. I think we're a good team. I think Pats are a good team. I think Rovers are a good team, and maybe people overhype Dundalk, but Dundalk are a great team as well, and they're there. But you know, as you keep saying, from you know, the league will go right to the wire. They're in pole position. They won it last year. Everyone is expecting to win it, but that mightn't be the case. We're certainly well in there, and hoping that we can push it. That maybe it's going to be our turn, and but we're a good side. You know, it's you know, there's a lot of a picture painted about us that, you know, we haven't been this, that, and the other thing. We were the only team last year to be there right to the wire, and we came from nowhere. We're still there this year, and that doesn't happen by chance. That happens by honesty, sheer hard graft, and having a very good team and very good players. And you know, it's easy to praise a lot of other sides. We don't look for that, but at the same time, we're no bad team either.
Go on.
I was going to say, John, you were at your best against Sligo the other night. You still showed the character and resolve you're talking about there to get a win.
Yeah.
The winning goal, that could have been 1-1, but you got a winning goal 3 minutes from the end.
Yeah.
Is that resolve and character that's there now? Perhaps it wasn't there last year, and will ascend, you know, this year under running. You see much of a difference, but I mean, you said there you won 7 out of 8 games last year under running, so there's not too much.
I know. I think last year we'd huge resolve and strength, and we got a lot of late goals. I think.
Is there a kind of an added ingredient?
Well, maybe there's an added belief with the squad that you know, that we are better than we were last year. We have a real opportunity. It was a difficult game. While people may say we didn't play as well, we still had something like 73% of the possession. You know, but it was Sligo made it really difficult because they defended with 8 back, and they were, you know, it was like they didn't create chances against us, but they made it difficult for us. And with a new manager, you were always going to expect that. And obviously they had a big crowd as well. But the crucial thing for us was that we held our heads, we were patient, but we needed a second goal. You know, I never felt it was a night that even when we scored with half an hour to go, I always felt we still would need a second goal. And you know, thankfully we got in the last 5 minutes. And but we didn't stop. We went for the second goal as well. You know what I mean? Because I think we knew that we needed just to get the second goal but I would think that last year, you know, the team had huge resolve. This year they have maybe there might be a bit more belief this year. You know, it's hard to say at the moment.
Mr. Bennett, another good win and a clean sheet, 13th of the season. John tells me last Friday night things are going well.
Things are, Bill. Yeah, they're going well. We're obviously heading into kind of a big weekend now in terms of things. So, yeah, it's going along nicely. But massive game Friday night, so that's what we're kind of really focusing on.
Munster derby, and they've doubled their points total in the past 2 weeks. So
yeah,
big game.
Hopefully there'll be a big crowd come out. should be a good occasion. As you said, Munster Derby. They've picked up some results recently, so we fully understand how difficult it'll be, and as I said, we're really looking forward to it.
Happy with your own form?
Yeah, I am, Bill. Yeah, to be honest, I think, as I probably said here before, I came straight from England, so I've probably been going now maybe about a year. Like really, probably started playing last August, like in terms of games, and a pre-season before that. So I'm being managed well by the staff here. You know, if they need to pull me out of sessions, they take me out of sessions. They understand that it's probably a different plan in terms of me. So I appreciate that, and I think it's paying off, and hopefully it'll continue.
That's a great question, Rory. How much did Dundalk's draw on Friday kind of give you a boost, and conversely, did that put pressure on you heading into the Sligo game on Saturday?
Dundalk's. I thought you meant I thought you meant the game previous that we played against them. Did it put pressure on us? Not really, you know. To be honest, like I think the pressure's been in the group anyway to perform and to get results. So, we know if they slip up that we've got to take advantage of that, but we also know that we need to take care of ourselves and just go every game, and it's plain and simple really in my mind. You know, you just got to go and win every game and go for every game, and that's what we'll do.
So not bothered by them at all.
Not really, you know. I'll be honest with you, I haven't really looked at anything. I didn't really look at their game when we were up in Sligo Friday night. Like I didn't really look. So just I suppose with experience you just get to know that you got to just take care of yourselves, and that's what we're doing.
You might call Hilliard right back the last couple of games. What's it like been like having him there?
It's been good. It's been good, to be honest. You know, he's so experienced and talks through the game really well. You know, that kind of stuff you mightn't really notice off the pitch, but he's such a good voice, and it just even at my age, you know, and me and Muzz, we still need that across the line, you know. So we're just lucky Kev was there. It brings down the average age by about 50 years.
He's
So-
in Tad's army, Kevin, is he?
Yeah.
When you were two nuts.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Headline there now.
There's a good combination there. But no, it's been really good. When you're a player of his class, you can probably play anywhere, you know. So he makes it look easy, and that's a reflection of him.
Since Europe, the squad's performances seem to have improved hugely. Was Europe a kind of a turning point to you as players?
The kind of focus has always been all the way along that we knew that the second half after the mid-season break, I think, was a time that when we needed to kick on, you know, and really step it up. So Europe was its own kind of separate journey, you know, and I'm really, really happy that, because it was a little bit disappointing, but I'm really happy that it wasn't brought into the league form, you know. It didn't really affect us in the league, so that was a real reflection of the maturity of the group. So that was the positive taken out of that, you know. So look, hopefully we'll have another adventure next year. So that's how I'm kind of focusing on Europe at the moment.
And the crowds have been great. I mean, great away support as well.
They have, Bill, to be fair. It's been incredible, you know. We're so lucky down here, you know. People really do follow the club and really passionate about the club, and when you see lads like Stephen and Beattie and Folan who've joined the club, and they run out and turn us cross, and there's massive support there, like, you know, it really does lift people, like lifts players, and they don't understand, you know. People don't understand until they come down here and play for this club how big it is and how much of the support there is and how much coverage there is from you guys, and we're fortunate, and we just need to keep performing so that you can keep writing good stuff.
I mean, since your only league defeat of the season to Dundalk in April, the form has been brilliant. Like, was it 9 wins and 3 draws? So the form has been brilliant, hasn't it?
Some good stats there. The form has been good. Yeah, that game was, as I said, disappointing at the time, but it shows the maturity in the group that we're able to move on from these things quickly, you know, not let them drag into the next couple of games. So I've said all along from day one here that the squad is the most important thing, and the quality in the squad, and we've seen that time and time again with people coming in doing different jobs in different situations, and John has been able to pick teams that have functioned really well, you know. So it's gotten stronger with the additions we've made, and it's a real tough team now to get into and stay into, you know, and that's the way it should be.
As a player, did you find it different with John Coughlin feel in the stand last week against Sligo in comparison to Dugout? Or did you notice that?
It's quieter.
It was a bit quieter, yeah. Mid-game, probably not, but when he was absent from the dressing room, maybe a bit, you know. But during the game, you're just so focused on what's going on anyway, you don't really kind of notice what's going on the sideline, really, unless you're called over. But Cots did really well, you know. I've been slagging him there now. He's been handing out his CVs ever since the game, you know what I mean? So he's unbeaten now in his managerial reign, yeah. So look, that's the strength of his staff, you know, that John Caulfield has here, like with Billy Woods and Phil and Cots, like that they're able to come in and seamlessly just take over and not do anything outrageous, you know what I mean? So it's a real steady group, and that was nice. Yeah, happy for them.
And is it better to have 4 teams chasing the title now? That's a bit of a 4-horse race where the Pats have crept up in there, Rovers aren't out of it. Is that better from your point of view? Rather than just having Dundalk in yourselves? Does it keep the intensity, the focus and the concentration up?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Thanks very much.
No problem. You could email that to me beforehand, Noel. I could have thought about that one.
You're told to get one right.
I have a better one. I'm sitting on it.
I suppose it's better for the league. I suppose it gives more opportunities of people taking points off each other. Pat's form has been excellent, you know, really good. Like, so, yeah. So we'll deal with that one when we come to them. But this weekend, without looking, like, Limerick is our next big one, and that's the biggest one for us. But it could be a big weekend in terms of how the league could work out, you know. So we'll have to you know, really, as I said, take our time, work up to the first game, play that, and then we'll see. We'll just my mind gets muddled even trying to think about it all. Do you know what I mean? It's the easiest thing for us to do, and what we are doing is just focus on ourselves and just go to win every game.
The last thing you need is people talking about the cup match.
Yeah.
The distraction of the cup, Pats or the holders coming down and all that. You need to.
Yeah, oh no.
For the moment.
There'll be none of that. Absolutely not. No chance.
Next week.
Yeah, it's all about Friday. It's all we've been speaking about. I only mentioned that because you brought up those two teams. I was just saying that good. To answer your question, it probably does make it a bit more competitive, which is good for everybody.